Good evening from Johannesburg. I am Lumka Oliphant, Chief Director Communications in the Department of Social Development. Welcome to Let's Have It Out on ENCA. Tonight and every weeknight here on ENCA, a variety of different newsmakers will get the chance to host this program. We'll give you, the viewer, a chance to get involved in the conversation. Unfiltered, accountable, and accessible. Welcome to Let's Have It Out. My name is Lumka Oliphant, and I am your host this evening. It has been 21 years since the women of South Africa were given the right to keep or terminate a pregnancy. Protected by the Constitution, South African women were given the right to make decisions concerning their reproduction and security to control their bodies. In 1997, Parliament enacted the Choice on Termination of Pregnancy Act. The Act places an obligation on government to provide reproductive health services to all, including safe conditions under which the right of choice can be exercised without fear or harm. Last month, the Department of Social Development, Rhodes University, the Justice Coalition, and partners in the reproductive justice space gathered at Rhodes University in Makhanda to take stock on how far South Africa and the world has done in providing this important service. Some of the serious challenges noted by the conference were that only 7% of the country's health facilities were designated to provide abortion services. Backstreet and illegal abortion still continued, lack of privacy at health facilities and stigma, women being counseled to keep a pregnancy. Here's how you can be part of this conversation.
Tweet us at ENCA using the hashtag LHIO. Call us on 011-759-6340 or send us a WhatsApp or WhatsApp video on 082-884-6370. And make sure those videos are no longer than 30 seconds, please.
My guest tonight is Ms. Thembi Zulu from the Department of Health. She is the Deputy Director of Women's Health. Sis Thembi, welcome and thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Lumka. Thanks.
Yes, Sis Thembi, August is a month of is a very important month in this country, where we are celebrating the gains of women and women emancipation. So when we had the conference, I don't want us to go into too many issues on abortion. I want us to talk about the excess. One of the things that came out of the conference was that women were counseled into keeping a pregnancy by health practitioners. Two others were hiding behind their right to exercise, not to perform an abortion due to their religious beliefs. And the Department of Health was not in the conference. Is that also not quite a big statement that the department that is tasked with making sure that this service is provided, it was not at the conference? Is that not a statement that says we don't care?
Lumka, we do care about the program, the service that need to be provided, that need to be offered to women. We do care. As the department, we have trained, because we know very well that not everyone can provide the service, and then this service is supposed to be trained by a person. This service need to be provided by a person who's trained, irrespective that you can be a nurse, a professional nurse, or a doctor, but there is a special training that someone who's supposed to provide the service who's supposed to undergo a training. So therefore, we've trained nurses and doctors to provide the service. We are aware that, yes, there is a gap in terms of not providing the service in all the facilities that are designated, but that we have got those facilities that are designated, but also providing the service in the country.
I want us to talk about the issue where we don't make health practitioners and doctors accountable, what others call a conscientious objection.
Yeah.
And if you are in a public service, chosen to be in a public service, obligated to perform a public service paid for by public money, how is it that we are not making people accountable for refusing, hiding behind their beliefs? And at the end, there are issues that women have to go through. They go through others, backstreet abortions. They are forced to go through backstreet abortions. They are forced to keep the pregnancy because you know you are racing against time. And when you go to an institution and you are told you cannot have the service, is not a way of violating the woman's rights? And whereas the Act itself does not provide for practitioners to say no.
The Act itself, Lumka, it gives a room to a person to choose whether to provide the service or what. The actual providing the service. Because
the Act itself?
Yes, the Act itself, it's actually give a room for health professionals.
It doesn't give a room for
yes.
It is just the constitution of the country that gives that.
I'm saying the Act, the Termination of Pregnancy Act, it doesn't force anyone to do the actual termination of pregnancy. But however, if there's any complication, everyone needs to be involved. But as well as the department, we are busy addressing the issue of conscientious objection because we are developing the guideline, because since we've been providing this service, we never had a guideline. We are busy as the department developing the guideline that is actually going to guide the provinces on how to provide the very same program, the very same services that we are talking about.
In other words, you are telling me right now in South Africa, in the year 2018, 21 years later, if you are a woman in the rural area and you want to decide that you don't want to keep a pregnancy, there is a huge chance that you may be forced to keep the pregnancy because you may find that there's no access in your area. You may find that, secondly, you may find a doctor who is paid by public money that you are not going to be able to get that service. Is that another form of violence against women?
In our public facilities, as I'm saying, that there are facilities that are actually providing the service. I can say to you, yes, we have got designated facilities that are ought to provide the service. But however, we have got those who are online who are providing the service. And in all provinces, we do have. Currently, we have introduced even the medical abortion that is actually assisting the woman to terminate the pregnancy.
Thank you, Sis Tembi. Stay tuned as we continue the conversation after the break. Remember to use the hashtag LHIO on social media to have a conversation with us.